気合い入れていくからな。
新しい名前テテテテにしたんだ。
To be fair, this is... I'm trying to find words to describe what this is, okay? So, this is literally the beginning of a series called Protocol Rain. This is the first episode, and this is literally what you're greeted with. You're greeted with straight up, like, animation and CGI, and technically, I wouldn't even fully consider it CGI, because this is actually legit. Like, if we take a hard look at this and all that, this is a game. Like, this is actually in a game engine. Like, if you look at these movements, the way the characters actually move and stuff, this looks like machinima. Like, anyone remember, Red versus Blue? Have you ever wondered why we're here? That iconic line where basically Red versus Blue began, and it kind of started a whole culture of just, like, funny, like, machinima, animation videos made on YouTube. And I know nowadays, if you look back, stuff like that isn't as popular as it once was, because, it's just, it's easier probably to make your own animation, or, well, it's not easier, but it's like, more people expect higher quality animation, art, but, the thing is this entire presentation here, like, when I see this beginning sequence of Protocol Rain, it legit brings me back to those times to when I first opened up, like, to killsometime.com. I believe that was the site. I could be wrong there, but it was, like, pre-YouTube. Like, it predated YouTube. Yeah, I know. And I remember, like, machinima being on those sites. I remember, like, Red vs. Blue really kicking off and on those jank sites that wasn't necessarily YouTube. And I remember it became kind of a cultural phenomenon for a good long while. And this is clearly what is being kind of hinted at. Like, whoever kind of storyboarded this segment of what should be presented at the beginning of this episode clearly wanted to bring, that feeling of, oh, this is a machinima. Like, this feels like it, because you have the characters bobbing and moving, and the way, just like the very beginning animation, like, if we take a look at this beginning animation, the way the characters kind of, like, run into frame, yeah, it, like, okay, let's be honest, it looks heinous, it looks bad, but it's like, it feels like that very janky feeling of just a bunch of dudes sitting around a microphone, recording themselves, and they're moving in-game into, like, Halo CE or something. That's what this feels like. And I know that, let's be honest, this is not going to be an anime that's going to do very well. It's not going to be an anime that is probably going to be remembered in a few weeks to months from now. But it is something that I think is very unique. It is trying to be unique. Even though I do think that the presentation of this could have been a lot better, I do think that it is unique. And I will give points where points are deserved, that regardless of how awful this kind of looks here, I do think that they kind of deserve points for trying to do something a little bit different that rekindles the passion of old school gaming and just old school YouTube videos and stuff like machinima and all that. But okay. With that out of the way, let's actually talk about this, because I know anyone that watches this, if you made it this far in the video, probably is like, wait a minute, is this what the anime looks like? Like, is this fully what it looks like? And no. Okay, the first, like, minute and a half is basically that, and then it turns into actual animation, as you could see here, but throughout, the episode, basically, there will be scenes that appear, like, within-game, as you could see, like, here, I'll show you the movement, like, you actually have in-game footage and stuff being used, and it looks really jarring, but I want to give some credit here, okay? Before I really start to, tear apart this series or really rip it apart, I do want to give credit to the fact that I believe the studio that worked on this show actually went out of their way and created their own game for this anime. Like, I want to make sure that is something I say, because even though when you look at, like, this animation, like, if we're really wanting to be judgmental and we're, like, looking at this art and animation or just this gameplay footage, technically, it looks bad. Like, this looks like something that literally came out on a PS2 game. Like, this literally transcends those memes. It really does. And, if we disregard, like, that, the fact is that the studio did put resources into having a game made for this show. And I think that if they would have made it look really, really good, like high quality, it would have overshadowed the anime. That's the truth, okay? And I feel like there is a line there to where, like, you know, probably when they were putting this episode together, they were like, yeah, we could probably make a very beautiful surface level game. We don't necessarily need to have the best gameplay, just make it look really good. They probably thought to themselves about that. But the thing is that if they would have done that, it would have straight up taken away from the anime, and people have been like, ugh, you know, the anime kind of looks worse than the game. And so there needed to be a balance here. I do think that they went too hard on making this look really ugly. But I do want, like I said, to give credit that they did obviously make a game for this show. Which is insane. That is actually an insane feat. Now, I'm not a game creator. I don't know how long it takes to really put a game together. I know nowadays someone could put a game together in like 24 hours with Unity, Blender, and all that type of stuff. I know that's a thing. I know there's a lot of controversy around Unity and stuff, but I'm talking about as a general thing. I know there's like people that put together like a horror game in like 20 hours, you know, and they throw it on Steam. So, with that in mind, I don't know how long this potentially took. But I will say, it is still interesting seeing a game, an actual game, being used in an anime. That's what's wild to me. But okay, let's talk about what, you know, Protocol Rain is actually about. What is going on within this first episode, and is it something that honestly you should continue watching? Personally, I don't think this is an amazing episode. I don't. And I'm not even looking at the, you know, the CGI or the gameplay footage, technically. I'm not even factoring this in, okay? If I completely disregard this and just shove it to the side, okay? And don't even factor any of this in, the story is about a dude that, you know, is really good at gaming. And it's about esports and about his sister that, you know, has been in an accident. She's basically needing constant care and attention. Their father's dead. He has a little bit of trauma. And basically the way the trauma is handled at the end because, oh, you know, he's a gamer getting back into esports is kind of like, like it just, like it feels very surface level in terms of just like going with trauma and dealing with stuff. And then, you know, the debt with esports and stuff. Like, I don't know, just the episode is very surface level. There is not a lot really going on within this that really warrants anything that makes me want to continue watching. It's nothing crazy. Now, the aspect of esports and all that is really cool. I do like that, and I wish more games really tackled this. Or not games, but more anime, you know, tackled this. But the thing is that, you know, King's Game, if anyone's ever watched that show, King's Game is really good. It's kind of done this concept in a lot better. Like, a lot better. I don't know, just this anime in general has very average animation, nothing terrible, but it's nothing that really wants to keep me around, because it's like, with all the crazy shows that's coming out this season, and just a lot of stuff, this is not one that really makes me want to continue watching. I know that might seem very harsh, but it's like, when you're having a market where there's just so much going on, and your first impressions is basically this and all that, and then you just have, like, you know, just average kind of plot points and stuff, it's nothing that really makes me want to continue watching. But yeah, I don't know, I kind of wanted to talk about this show, though. The reason why I wanted to talk about it was because I was impressed with the usage of this. As much as I'm obviously crapping on this, I do think that this is impressive to see a game actually used within a show. It's very transformative. I think this is a very interesting step with using gaming within anime, and I would like to see this concept used more in the future, but make sure the game doesn't look as janky as it does. But I do like this. I hope that we do see this. I mean, with how much CGI has been used over the years and how atrocious it looks, I don't doubt that something like this is going to be done again. This will be done again. It just, very unique. I actually think more people would accept this than actually bad CGI. I want to keep it real here. But okay, I just wanted to talk about it. It's, like I said, it's interesting, but nothing to write home about. I discovered this, and I was just like, this opening sequence, by the way, is the reason why I started it. I want to point that out. Like, I saw this opening, and the opening is really good. I was like, yo, this is kind of a banger opening. And then I started the show, and I was greeted with this. I was like, huh? Did I download a gameplay video? that's what I thought I did. So yeah, this opening is just straight lie. Like, it lies to your face. That's why I started the show. But okay, I'll leave it at that, though. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like. It does help me out a lot. With that, be safe. stay healthy. Chibi out.